I'm Trish Regan in for Lou Dobbs tonight. House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi attacking the president's highly successful middle-class tax cuts at a DNC-sponsored town hall in Phoenix, Arizona, calling them unpatriotic. But a heckler in the crowd called her out a short while after that. Watch.
If what you're doing is cutting the taxes at the high end and therefore not being allowed to invest in the future, you're doing a grave disservice to our country. Some patriotic.
Most people have to struggle to make ends meet. So, no, we're not talking about that. No. So, in any event,
it just keeps getting worse, right? I've called her the Marie Antoinette of the Democratic Party. This is the same problem that Hillary Clinton had, not connecting, not understanding what it's like to have to pay the rent every month, not understanding what it's like to have to pay a mortgage or put food on the table. This is part of the Democrats' very problem right now. On top of that, she can't get her talking points straight. She's out there saying, oh, it's nothing but a tax cut for the highest earners. In fact, it's not, because a lot of your highest earners are in New York, in Connecticut, in California, in New Jersey, and all of these are high tax states. And guess what? Those high earners, they can't deduct their state and local taxes anymore, so they will pay more. I wish the Democrats would get their talking points straight. In fact, I've helped them on some of them because this tax plan isn't perfect, but they keep going back to decades-old rhetoric. Joining me right now, Washington Times opinion editor and Fox Business contributor, Charlie Hurt. Charlie, good to see you.
Great to see you, Trish.
I mean, if I'm a Republican strategist, I'd just say keep bringing her out, keep bringing her out. I mean, because it's as though she's doing all the work for them. What is it, do you think, that Nancy Pelosi doesn't get, and for that matter, the Democratic Party doesn't get?
Yeah, she's in a lot of ways, Nancy Pelosi is an even greater gift to the Republican Party than Hillary Clinton is. And Hillary Clinton, of course, won't go away. But, I mean, she is so out of touch. She has been around for so long, and she has sort of fallen back into this thing where all she talks about is all this class warfare business. And when they're not talking about class warfare, they're talking about racial division and playing racial politics and all this stuff that the vast majority of Americans have put behind them a long time ago, if they ever put anything into any of them to begin with. Oh. And it's all they've got left. And I think it's the real danger of thinking that they can go into these elections just hating Donald Trump. They're going to lose. No,
I mean, Americans always want something
hopeful
to vote for, right?
Yeah,
not
exactly.
just something to vote against.
Exactly.
But I'm wondering if fundamentally the problem here is their platform, this whole redistribution of wealth, this whole socialist ideal where they're going to take from you, Charlie, and me, and from the union workers at the local plant and everybody else. In other words, anybody that's earning an honest living is going to get attacked by the Dems, and money will be taken from them and redistributed to people who aren't working for a living. Right. And I think that people fundamentally, those of us that are working, have a problem with that.
Well, it's the whole, I mean, this is America where, we don't have a caste system in America. This is not India. This is not some terrible country where people can't be born in with nothing and then rise to the extraordinary levels that people do in this country if they work hard and play by the rules and do all this, and are creative and never lose that enthusiasm or that vision for something. But you're exactly right. Voters want to vote for something. And when you look at Barack Obama in 2008, he was showing he had a hopeful campaign. The sun was shining on his face. People wanted to vote for him. And the same thing about Donald Trump. And that's what so many people in the media missed, is the fact that he was presenting a very hopeful image about the future. And that's why people voted for him. And Hillary Clinton wasn't doing that. And Nancy Pelosi still isn't doing that.
I mean, it's a huge mistake. I mean, I think the reality is they have no policies. So all they go back to is, oh, he's a racist. He's sexist. He's this, he's that. And, look, nobody wants a misogynist in the White House. Nobody wants a racist in the White House. So maybe that motivates their base. But you're right in that if you really want to get people out to work, out to vote. They're the people that are actually out there working. In other words, their economic success is the link, I think, to political success for these parties.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know, and if you look at these all these wild accusations that we've heard now for years about Donald Trump, the problem isn't that people believe it and they're ignoring it. It's that they don't believe any of the accusations anymore, except for the craziest fringe element of the Democratic Party. Everybody's heard all these accusations. They've thrown their hands up after having heard them for so long and seen so many times all the stories fall apart, and they just wind up. And of course, it's the big problem with the whole Russia collusion case as well. You hear so much of this stuff, so much of it turns out not to be true. At some point, people just throw their hands up and say, we're not listening to any more of this nonsense.
Yeah, listen, I got news for Nancy Pelosi. There is nothing unpatriotic about allowing Americans to keep the money that they have worked very hard for.
Amen.
And she needs to learn that quickly. It's easy, I guess, when you get as much money as her. Maybe you start to forget. But I would, if I were her political advisor anyway, tell her to study up fast.
Well, I hope she doesn't, because I like it. The more she says this, the better off smart people are.
Charlie, it's good to see you. Thanks for doing the show.
Thanks, Trish.